Greetings, ladies and gentlemen dudes. Kyle here. Welcome back to the shop, where today we're going to be taking another look at making a forge. Last one I made didn't really work. It was going to be gas powered instead of charcoal. This one's going to be a little bit bigger and it's going to be charcoal powered, so it's going to be a whole lot simpler.
Alright, we got some voiceover time. So, first thing that I was doing to build this forge was to actually get the forge built. So it's really simple. I'll leave a link to the video that I was copying for these instructions, but it's just equal parts plaster of Paris and sand, and then some water just to moisten it all up until it was about the consistency of kind of thin pancake batter was what it was like. And when it was pouring, it was like throwing up, but without the like gagging part of it. So it was kind of messy, just kind of mixing everything up. And then basically you just put this bucket in here with the bricks, and then that was what's going to be the opening that is inside the forge. It did start to set up, and I did after a little bit realize that's not really going to be enough plaster, so I ended up mixing up some more because I was just going to leave it, let it set, and then I was, oh wait, I forgot to put the steel wool in, so I need to do that because that's supposed to help put the help give it stability. And it actually ended up setting really quick. I was quite pleased with that. But like I said, I'll leave a link to the video that I was kind of copying this from. It was very simple, very easy to make. It only took about 20-30 minutes or so. And it's explained much better in the other video than I'll be able to do here. I was just trying to figure it out myself. Should also be noted that over here I also was making a lid. I used some U-bolts for handles that I can put tongs through and hold that. Put in a pie pan, ended up actually having to break the pie pan later, which was not great, but it's alright. I was going to go get some pliers, and then my dad came by and took the bucket out for me, and he's like, yep, well, alright, thanks Dad. Make me look like a wimp on my own YouTube video. And then right at the end, I just was drilling a hole into the side where we can put a steel pipe that'll be used to introduce airflow into the bottom of the foundry.
Welcome back. It is day 2 of working on the forge, and first off I want to say it's a beautiful 95 degrees, super sunny. I put on what I hope is enough sunscreen, but we'll see. We're gonna start off with something that may seem a little bit backwards. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean out the forge, because I did a bad YouTuber thing and wasn't recording while I was first playing with this. I did quite a bit of stuff. I had it going for about 3 hours, and frankly, I was just having so much fun that I, like I said, bad YouTuber thing, and didn't stop to go get my camera and start after I realized I wasn't recording. But we are gonna fire it up and see if we can't do some more with it. I was mostly just experimenting, trying to figure out some stuff. I'll show you the stuff we made. So the first thing we made was this little hook, which is very basic, just to see what I could do. And I was using this just to kind of lift this up when it was hot. It's kind of nice for that. And then I also did just a couple of things here that aren't going to work out. There's a skink over there. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's not really going to work out like I wanted for these. This, I was just making it pointy. And we'll probably try to get more stuff on this. This is some molten metal that I had that I just kind of pulled out of there. Started melting nails together, kind of fusing them around. Best I can tell, I got this thing up. It was hot enough to melt aluminum really dang quick, and I'm talking like just a couple of seconds was all it actually took. Where are my gloves? To it only took about 5 seconds to melt like a soda can, which, to be fair, there's not a lot there to melt. But yeah, I actually got it pretty hot. I was using just regular barbecue charcoal to start with. We're just gonna kind of and that was all right. But then I got some lump charcoal from when we burned up kind of a ratty old chicken coop that we had built. We were burning that down so that we could maybe make a new one, but we'll see about that. And I was using this charcoal. It's just regular charcoal. It's not designed to burn slower or cooler, because you want that for cooking normally. And wow, it got hot, and it melted. It was like this thing. I was putting it in for probably 20 seconds, and it was already back to red hot after it had cooled from hammering on it. I killed a cinder block. I had my anvil on cinder blocks stacked a little bit nicer than that, but still they were on cinder blocks. And then I kind of killed it. So the anvil will be going on the ground today, like I had it later on. So I'm gonna get this cleaned out. I'm gonna see kind of the, oh, we'll come back and you can see the kind of the quality that it's in. Like I said, it was going for about 3 hours. I melted some soda cans in there, so I'm not sure all of what's gonna be in there, but we're about to find out. So after I got some of this, some chunks of metal here that I'm gonna throw away, it's mostly soda can that's flowed over some nails that were partially molten. Most of it seems to be a lot of slag, but there was some, I don't know which piece it was on. Here, you can actually see here we've got some actual molten aluminum that's not just slag and dirt and a bunch of trash like that. So that's kind of cool. We did actually find, not that we can really use what's there, but yeah. So looking at the forge, not the forge, the Foundry itself, we don't seem to actually have too much damage going on here. It's kind of some charcoal and metal. It's kind of caked on here. But for the most part, this is actually pretty smooth still. The bottom seems to have cracked a little bit, but I didn't have any problems with it. This here was what I was concerned with. This here, the bucket was touching it, touching the steel wool here, so there wasn't plaster there. But I mean, as you can see, so it kind of powders away a little bit there, but nothing too crazy. So I'm looking at the lid. Again, we seem to have this like metallic, probably from the oxide, the like aluminum oxide, this stuff that we were melting. It's kind of formed a really hard crust on it. It's kind of flaky around the outside, but honestly, it held up pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. So we got this little hole over here. Oh, maybe this is the bigger hole, where there was the hole. But it's, you know, so this is cracking. So this will probably break off the next time or so, because it's a hole. I mean, I can stick my whole finger in there, 2 fingers actually. So, and it is kind of crumbling around here, but that's all right. I might be able to get some more plaster pairs and just mix up a little bit more and just kind of patch that. I'll test that probably at the end of this firing if it's not completely destroyed, but we'll see. Right, now that we've got this all cleaned up, I've got it set up. We've got a hair dryer here that'll be on. I've got the cool button clamped so that it doesn't heat up the duct tape too much. It's gonna blow air. That's gonna be our ventilation and our circulation rather. I've got that big chunk of charcoal in there because I can't break it up too well, and I just want to kind of burn it apart. So that'll last me for a little while. So I'm gonna turn this on, get it started. I'm a torch here. Get it started, and then I will come back when we're up to temperature and we can start trying to work some metal. Right, I've only been having this going for about 30 seconds to a minute now. Probably a minute to 2 minutes, and it's already, you can already feel the heat from here. You can probably, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see the heat waves all the way out here, all the way out here. And I can just feel the heat kind of radiating off this already. It's getting hot really quick. Quite pleased with that. All right, I'm not sure how much time I have because I don't have a lot of charcoal rather, but we're gonna see. Holy cow though, this thing has gotten hot. It is very, very hot. I've got a couple of pieces of rebar in there. We're gonna see. One of them I've already looked at. It was starting to get to be like a dull orange, so it's a little bit hotter than red. And we're just gonna keep going. And in a second here, I'm gonna set you up on the tripod so that you can start to see me try to forge something with this.
Alright, so here goes the first time I actually had something in mind that I wanted to make while I was forging. This actually went pretty well. I learned a lot while I was doing this, kind of about how the metal kind of works, what happens when you hit it. I ended up switching a little bit later because I didn't realize how tiring it was going to be. I knew it was going to be tiring to swing a hammer like that, but swinging a 2.5 pound sledgehammer, or 3 pound sledgehammer, I don't remember how heavy it is, heavy enough that it was exhausting to use. It was pretty alright, went well. I definitely enjoyed it. It was super hot, so that wasn't too great. But in the end, we ended up not being able to succeed because we had the 2 chunks that were going to be part of the leaf keychains that I was making. They were going to be the leaf part of it, ended up melting off in the furnace, which means that our furnace was at about 2,000 degrees, between 2,000 and 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty impressive. I was happy with that. Obviously, I wasn't happy that I melted my projects, but I was happy that we got it so hot, so that's pretty cool.
All right, so as I was working, I went to go get a drink of water, and unfortunately this happened. You guys saw I had that little blob that was leaving on the end. It kind of melted off because I left it in there for like 25 seconds. Not even that, it was like I don't know, 30 seconds or something like that. Melted off. Frankly, it's too hot out here to continue, so I'm gonna have to come out here in the morning or like late at night when it's not 95 degrees out. But we learned some stuff. I'll leave a link to a couple of videos, one about making the forge and one about what I was trying to make before I killed these, so you can kind of see what I was aiming for at least. But until then, I'm definitely pleased with how it turned out. Yeah, it's just really hot out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. All right, so I got everything disassembled. The forge, I just put the lid on it and left it over there by itself. Got everything else out so that it can cool. I used to think I had a pretty good heat tolerance. I was probably only out here for, I don't know, an hour, maybe an hour. Sunscreen wasn't too much of an issue. I wasn't in the sun. I was able to get everything set up in the shade, so sunscreen was all right, but definitely gonna have to figure out how to get, dropping tongs, how to get some ventilation or something out here. It is so humid in Virginia, just because, well, Virginia's are super humid. So for right now though, I'm gonna bid you all a fair fond farewell, and go take a shower. And I will make sure that if you enjoy these kind of stuff, you leave a like on it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more kind of projects like this. I'm definitely going to be doing them. It'll be easier not to film them, not to edit video or anything for them. So if you guys don't really care about seeing this stuff like this, you want to see more woodworking stuff, you want to see more video game stuff, that's all fine and dandy too. Just let me know. I do have a little series. I'm going to be putting together a little highlight reel. I had a friend of mine, Josiah. I'll leave a link to his channel. Actually, probably not in this video, but in the next video that I'm going to be putting out. A hardcore that he was hosting that I was a part of. I'm just going to give a couple of some highlights, and then there will be a link under that video to go watch the entire series and check out his channel. He does some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, so all that to say, it's hot. I'm going to take a shower. Bye.